Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Brothers found shot to death in St. Catherine. Two brothers were found shot to death at Bells Heights District in Garden Pen, Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Saturday morning. They have been identified as 32-year-old Devon McKenzie, otherwise called Chucky, and 23-year-old Ray Robinson, otherwise called Rio, both from the district. Information reaching reporters is that around 3:30 a.m., family members heard loud explosions and went and made checks on their surroundings. During a search, the family members saw the brothers lying in separate beds inside a one-bedroom dwelling with gunshot wounds to their bodies. St. Anne farmer charged for brother-in-law's murder. Gary Rose, a 51-year-old farmer of Coffee Ridge in K Valley, St. Anne, was on Friday charged with murder of his brother-in-law. Errol Cameron, otherwise called Shabba, and Madman, a 55-year-old of Clifford Ridge, was killed on August 18. It is reported that about 3 a.m., there was a stone-throwing incident involving Cameron and Rose. During the altercation, Rose reportedly used a digging fork to inflict wounds to Cameron's lower body. Cameron was later found on his bed with wounds to his body. An investigation was undertaken, which resulted in Rose being arrested on suspicion of murder. He was charged upon completion of the investigation. Dancehall artist Medic reported missing. 29-year-old artist Stephanie Williams, otherwise called Medic, of Mayfair Red Hills Road in St. Andrew, has been missing since Thursday. The police say she is of brown complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 7 inches tall. Reports from the Kingston Spring Police state that Williams left home sometime on Thursday afternoon and has not been seen since. At the time, she was wearing a black blouse, black tights, and a pair of black shoes. The police say all attempts to contact her have failed. Anyone knowing the whereabouts of Stephanie Williams is asked to contact the Kingston Spring Police at 876-924-1421, the Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Jamaica Fire Brigade still working to ascertain cause of fire on Rum Lane in Kingston. The Jamaica Fire Brigade is still working to ascertain the cause of August 24 fire on Rum Lane in central Kingston, which has left more than 24 people homeless. Reports are that residents were awakened by loud explosions and discovered their dwellings on fire. It is suspected that the fire was started by arsonists, but this has not yet been confirmed. Public Relations Officer at the brigade, Emilia Ebanks, told reporters that 4 units responded to the blaze.
We received a call at 12:40 a.m. that there was a number of dwelling houses on 33 and 33 and a half Rum Lane in Kingston. We responded with 4 units from the York Park and Trenchtown stations. On arrival, we saw houses on fire. At the end of the firefight, we were told that 12 adults and 12 children are homeless as a result of the fire. We have investigators on scene trying to ascertain the cause of the fire.
31-year-old woman charged with murder of Daniel Rowe.
8 years old, Daniel April Rowe, who on June 8, 2023, was abducted from her school in Portmore, St. Catherine, and taken to Roosevelt Avenue in Kingston, where her throat was slashed. She was assisted by a passing motorist and taken to the Bustamante Children's Hospital. However, despite the best effort of the medical staff at the Children's Hospital, she succumbed to her injury on June 10, 2023. Kayoda Sachel, 30 years old, dental assistant of Padmore District, Red Hill, St. Andrew, and Twickenham Park, St. Catherine, who was taken into custody on Friday, August 11, 2023, was positively identified on an ID parade which was held today, the 25th of August, 2023. The breakthrough is a reflection of the commitment, patience, and due diligence of our investigator in this matter. And I want to commend the team that actually was involved in this investigation. It is to be noted that Ms. Sachel was an intimate partner of Daniel Rowe's father. We have not yet established a clear motive, but as the investigation proceeds, we expect that the real motive will be manifested. Miss Sachel will be interviewed and the formal charges will ultimately be laid in the coming week.
St. Andrew man dies in crash days after arriving in Cayman. The community of Mount Algie in Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew, was plunged into mourning this week after news emerged that one of their own died in an accident in the Cayman Islands on Wednesday. The deceased is 39-year-old Errol Simpson, otherwise known as Shark. Simpson, who left Jamaica 1 week ago, is reported the Cayman Islands' 7th road fatality since the start of the year. His friend and former schoolmate Kiva told reporters that Simpson will be sadly missed. "I have known him, you can see, all my life. We went to school together. He was loved by his family and anyone who came in contact with him. Our community has lost a very ambitious young man. He is a hustler and a go-getter. The entire community is in mourning," stated his friend. In a release sent to reporters, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Services said that shortly after 11:20 p.m. on Wednesday, officers responded to a report of a fatal single-vehicle collision along Esteli-Tibus Highway just north of Butterfly Runabout involving a white Toyota Mark X. It was reported that the vehicle was traveling southbound when it left the highway and collided with a fence. The RCIPS did not name the deceased. The police say emergency services attended the location and 2 occupants of the vehicle were transported to the Cayman Islands Hospital for treatment. The RCIPS said another male occupant was taken into custody and has been granted bail while the inquiry continues. Reporters understand that he too is a Jamaican national. The RCIPS did not state who the driver of the vehicle was, only suggesting that the investigation will ultimately determine who was behind the wheel. Simpson's death follows that of Jamaican Shonwai De La Pena, 24, who died in May 2019 in a 2-vehicle crash which left 3 foreigners dead. On December 5, 2021, a 39-year-old Jamaican, Alden Irons, who resides in the British Overseas Territory, was a passenger in a car which collided with another vehicle and then slammed into a concrete sign pole. He was the country's 9th fatal crash victim at the time. In September 2019, 2 Jamaican nationals living in Cayman, 26-year-old Lopez George Higgins and Charlisha Titania Chambers, 27, also died in a motor vehicle collision. McKenzie reveals plan to build water shops, fix roads in Clarendon North Central. Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie has pledged a series of infrastructural development across sections of North Central Clarendon. McKenzie was speaking to journalists on Thursday following a tour of Clarendon North Central constituency, which is represented by Member of Parliament Robert Morgan. Atop the priority list is the construction of 2 water shops to ease the water woes in Gardenwood and Beckford Crawls communities. The Gardenwood facility will provide some 20,000 gallons. Residents in Beckford Crawl will benefit from a 16,000-gallon facility. McKenzie said the tour underscored the harsh reality of the deprivation faced by several communities. With no access to pipe water, many residents are forced to pay big trucks weekly for the precious commodity. Gardenwood resident Carmen Thomas lamented mounting costs to supply her home and kettle. "We're not saying water shops are the answers to water crisis," said the minister, who noted that the government is trying to tap into various solutions to address the issue. According to McKenzie, a significant amount of money had been spent to truck water across the constituency, a part of the commitment of the government, knowing that Clarendon is one of those parishes that suffers, especially in the hills. "We're going to be providing allocations to the municipal corporation to purchase another water truck," he stated. The rugged terrain that leads to the Pinard Valley Primary and Infant School in Coxwade area bore testament to the challenges faced by residents in traversing the area. McKenzie assured them that the government will also move to address the situation. "We have driven on some roads today. We have some excellent roads and we thank the Member of Parliament, but there are some roads that we've drove on that are desperately in need of attention. The technical team is going to be working with the municipal corporation to attend to at least one of the roads we drove on today, especially the road that takes the community to the school. I think it's critical, and we're going to be paying attention to that," he stated. McKenzie also announced the construction of homes for at least 3 indigent constituents. 2 elderly men and a mother of 7 got commitments that their living conditions would improve under the indigent housing program. This initiative, spearheaded by each municipality's poor relief department, offers housing solutions to the registered poor. McKenzie questioned why the needs of the said constituents were never brought to the attention of the relevant authorities over the years. There are times you see cases and you wonder what had happened before, why people did not identify these people to give attention, but better late than never, he stated.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell.